Good morning, everybody. It is 10 a.m. in Budapest. Where are you? Dobre din. William Paschall coming to you from Budapest. We're playing some blitz and classical chess, 5+3 through 7+3. Slaggy on Twitch. Today is just normal stream, blitz and classical. We had the subscriber stream last night, but so many things were going on that we had to cut it even early. Too many chess streamers last night on lichess. It was like out of control. So that didn't really work well. There were like 6 streamers on lichess plus the St. Louis chess thing going on at the same time. So Gladys Troll. How do you decide if you're saddest or gladdest? I'm gonna send you some Dr. Seuss books or something. All right, Troll on a roll, knight to d5. You guys are not subscribers. Dirty Cheater's not a subscriber. Only Aldisto. So we'll play him first, and if there's no other subscribers, we'll start playing the guests. Aldisto challenged me to chess 960, which he does sometimes. He hasn't challenged me to chess 960 in a while. I guess Troll reminded him. Does anyone know my song? This song? No. Is it Russian? Alright. Here we go. Chess 960. Bishops seem to be important. I keep getting into bad positions against Troll on a roll yesterday. Got his bishops pointing at me. I got very badly coordinated in the actually the last game we played last night. I guess before cutting the stream out. He had much better coordination than me straight out of the gate. I've got to stop letting that happen. Actually, I don't mind c4 here, attacking the center, opening up both bishops. Aldisto not a specialist in chess 960. Like our great Troll on a roll. It's a strange title. Ubiquitous. I don't even know what that means. I'm pretty good, but with vocabulary, but that's a word that I never completely understood. For some reason, we never had that, as a vocabulary word in high school English. All right, b takes c4, c5. It sounds cool, whatever it means. I sound really ignorant, but that is one of the words that escaped me in my life. Bishop b2. We've got 3 spectators. 2 anonymous. That's weird. Alright, Aldisto is just clamping down on the central squares there. Not having any of this. Increasing his control of the center. Basically, he can play e5. And I've got to be prepared for that eventuality, which is unpreventable. Everywhereness. So knight f6. Black looks well coordinated. I've talked about this before, but Aldisto seems to have a very good sense of piece coordination. He sometimes makes speculative, really good speculative pawn sacrifices that I think that most people his rating level wouldn't normally appreciate. Alright, knight f6. Man, this is not really clear what the best policy is here. Blocking my bishop in, that's the thing. I mean, what do I do with this now? Did I do something wrong already? I already feel like I did something wrong. I guess we just have to accept that we have a bad bishop. The other option might be to play e3, but then my pawns get very weak. I'm gonna have to play like e3 and d3 anyway at some point in the future. Maybe our bishop can creep out with bishop c2, bishop a4 down the line somehow. It's almost like in English where we've got a good exchange. We've made a good exchange, essentially, like a b pawn for a central pawn. I mean, the pawn structure should actually be better for white in a sense. Trading the wing pawn for the central pawn, as in some kind of weird Sicilian. But I still feel like our pieces aren't set up really optimally here. Welcome, guys. I want to thank you for subscribing. Arsenal fan, what's up? Have you read Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual? Has anyone read Dvoretsky's? No, I haven't. I'm too old for that. But I did take lessons with Dvoretsky for a very short period. We never really talked about endgames. Actually, mostly openings and a couple lessons I had with Mark. But I heard good reviews about the endgame book. Well, pretty much everything he did was professional. He died, I guess, last year. Shockingly, he was fairly young. I mean, I don't think he was over like 60. Alright, I've got to get my pieces developed. I'm a little concerned about e5, e4 at some point. It's basically like my queen is on a weird square. My knight needs to develop. But do I play knight f3? Or do I go knight e2? That's pretty time consuming, like e3, knight e2. Black fully developed, except for his rook on a8. Guys, I like to play longer games and, wow, look at this, bishop g4, quick development. I like to play longer games, thoughtful chess. We're playing between 5+3 and 7+3. Man, powerful play by Aldisto. Excellent piece play, but we should have a superiority with that central pawn. The question is now what to do. I can't afford to weaken my king side anymore with like h3 type of stuff. Can I? You could do h3, it looks kind of gross. Knight d2. Maybe just castle. Let him take on f3. That's horrifying. Okay, well, I can allow the doubled pawns. That itself is not enough to do me in, but I already, like, again, every time I play chess 960 against one of you guys, especially Aldisto, I feel like I'm worse out of the opening always. Like, my chess 960 opening play just basically sucks. And then after that, I can kind of hold my own with calculation and strategy, but I always feel like I'm getting the worst position out of the opening in chess 960 pretty much every game. The same thing with Troll yesterday. It means butler. Dvoretsky. Dvoretsky Mark. Alright, so queen d7, queen e2, walking into the pin. I think this position may call for drastic measures. This is not the drastic measures yet. It looks like Well, black is just so well coordinated with those pieces. Damn, dude, straight out of the gate. Everything is perfect for black. Central control. What did I do wrong? I played b3 on my first move. That was my error, to play b3. Interesting. Now knight b4 is a weird move. What's that about? Okay. I mean, obviously I have to play a3. I mean, I guess you could castle and play like rook d1. What is going on? Oh no. Basically a tactic. Well, now the question is, do I play king g1 or king fe1? Fe1. King g1 or e1? I won't be castling. We do have good central control, whatever little that's worth here. Maybe our bishop on the long diagonal can have some usefulness. Usefulness. Oh my god, another surprise move. Surprise. One hasty move by black. And unless he's got a piece sacrifice here, I can make it to an ending where my problems... What is that song? Is there some musical? I'm thinking of like musical songs. Now, Troll, you got me started with songs. Oh my god, he's sacrificing a piece for what here do you have for your piece? What are you doing? Now this is still going absolutely bonkers. He's got two connected passed pawns on the queen side. Maybe I should have thought about that, but they looked so far away. Knight g4, that's a G. About to lose on time. He only moves pieces, no pawns. I thought this was like a joke, but he's getting serious about it. Not a lot of time. What's up, guys? Where were you guys during my subscriber stream yesterday? The turnout was abysmal. There was almost no one watching the stream. There were like 6 streamers on lichess. Because there were 2 girls, and then King Crusher and Penguin IM. And what else was there? The St. Louis thing, plus the World Computer Championship, or whatever the heck it is. So it was like absolutely the worst night ever to stream. Alright, that's got to stop. What's that, though? You're dropping a piece. It's got to stop, but we can take time to grab a piece, I think. Take time to grab a piece here. Oh. Can I castle? Have another pawn. What does it matter at this point? Seen one pawn, you've seen them all. He's not taking it. Oh no. Weird, man. You were better like the whole time, I thought. Let's see what the engine thinks. Yeah, so I'm like minus 0.2 right out of the gate. This is already like a fairly serious disadvantage. My opening was bad. I guess b3. Well, I guess b3 wasn't the problem. It was the next move, apparently. This novelty, c4, asking too much for my position. How dare I attack the center, you know? So I'm supposed to play bishop b2. Or even d4, the engine likes that. But I don't know, man. I don't like d4, b3 and d4. It doesn't make any sense. Tactical Wizard, what? It's funny that the computer doesn't say he's very much better. I mean, we look at the here, his maximum advantage was 0.4. I felt like it was more than that. I was scared. I felt like White's position is really bad. He hated my move e3, Stockfish. We'll just replace you, Stockfish, with what is that computer? Not Houdini, the other one that's winning the computer tournament. Komodo. We'll just replace you. It wants me to play bishop c2 here. God. It's a good idea, but how can I not control d4? This is where he got weird with knight b4. And then takes. So queen g2 is like a blunder, basically. If you play knight c6, my king is stuck in the center, you have some chances. Alright, man, tough game. Alright, subscribers. We've got... Okay, let's play Troll first. Then we'll play the subscribers. One more chess 960. We're going to play another chess 960, get a bad position out. Let's try to get a good position out of the opening. He's playing f4, attacking my a7 pawn, so I think c5 is good. Sicilian Grand Prix attack. The other option of like b6 looks pretty lame. Knight c6. Controlling the center. That bishop on a8 is good. The bishop on d8 is okay. The rook is okay. The knight's okay. This knight is not okay. Our queen is not okay. Just check the pieces and see. I'm worried about the queen. This is not a normal Sicilian. This queen is going to be tough to get into the game. I mean, his idea of playing the f-pawn up maybe like one square is interesting. This is pretty creepy. It opens up my king, but we can get the knight to f7 maybe. It also helps my queen. Somebody said f5 looks good. Yeah, but I mean... Yeah, maybe. Maybe f5 would be better. Honestly, I forgot my rook was protecting f5. But I still don't normally like to open up the center that much with an f-pawn move like that. But it's playable. My rook could be exposed to attack, generally. I don't really like my rooks coming out too early. Troll is basically sacrificing a pawn here. Queen takes a2, knight c3, queen a5, knight f5, rook g8, b3. There's also knight h5. All right. I don't like bringing my rooks out early, but I like bringing my queens out early. Well, if I'm winning a pawn, it's a different story. You know, f5 just felt like it was like opening the position where I have no development. I don't think he has that much compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Maybe a little bit of central control. Knight to d5 is what? You're reading a book about d4 openings. Which one? Maybe he means like d4, c4 openings. There was a good opening book on d4 by Richard Palliser. It was like pretty old though, from 2005. But I mean, it was just a kind of basic book on d4, and not really, you know, the kind of thing that would be really like time sensitive. Just kind of an overall repertoire for 1d4. I'm sure there's a million books like that, but that particular one I actually picked up years ago, and I thought it was okay. I could play g6. Might actually save me some time to play g6. We need to get his knight out of there anyway. Yesterday during my stream, in my subscriber stream, I was talking about how Troll is like fundamentally lazy, like most everyone, and he doesn't like to calculate. So I don't like the knight harassing my queen on c4, and this is a useful move anyway. We're using the pawns quite a bit here. 4 pawn moves. Opening up my bishop anyway. It's like a weird Sicilian. A weird Sicilian with my knight on h8. But I doubt this is sound for white. Yeah, well, Arsenal fan, you have a similar problem. Too much intuition, not enough calculation. I have the same problem, so I'm, you know, it's kind of like I can talk because I have the same problem. Does that work like that? I think that I'm very much that way, but at my level, of course, I've had to force myself to calculate a lot more than the most lazy players. All right, this knight on h8 needs to join the fray soon. Guys, International Master William Paschall, we are streaming today, and then tomorrow's off. Sunday is a simul, and you can play. It's 30-30, time control for 20 players. I've got a team game. I think I'm playing Anita Gara, but I'm not sure that she'll actually show. So, the Budapest Team Championship. She's the only good player left on her team, and I think if I'm lucky, she'll play. Otherwise, I have to play a really low-rated player on Sunday. But you never know. Like, my opponent is a very strong women's player. She might have some special tournament or something. You don't know if someone might have another commitment. So we'll see. But that's why I'm doing a 30-30 simul. I do have the tournament game on Sunday. Hope my queen doesn't get trapped on a5. I think I'm going to be white, and Anita plays the Philidor. Normally I play like knight f3, c4, d4 more often, but if the other player plays if my opponent plays the Philidor, it's really tempting to play 1e4. Although I think she plays other stuff too. Let's see, queen h4, that is what I expected. I guess rook h8, huh? Castles. into the attack. What attack? This is a little dangerous, admittedly. I mean, I feel like white's pieces are kind of pointing at my king. But objectively, like, it's going to be dangerous no matter what I do. I had the bishop on d8, opposite the queen on h4, intercepting any knights to d5. I don't see any kind of clear attack for white to break through. Pawn storms are kind of slow here. I'd like to get the bishop. And then e6 is a good prophylactic move for black. Twitch Prime? Oh, I actually was hyperlinking something and I thought someone typed Twitch Prime, but it was just like Twitch showing me a hyperlink. Okay. There we are. Everything's good to go now. We're actually coordinated. Sweet. f6 is protected. We got the other knight to guard h6. You can never get checkmated with a knight on f7. It's like basically kind of rule of life. I don't think I'm the first person to say that. What's up, guys? It's Friday. Let's have a little celebration for my day off tonight and tomorrow. Not completely off. I've got some lessons tomorrow, but you get a break from chess for a day, for the most of a day. No, I guess I just clicked on Arsenal fans Twitch Prime badge there by accident. All right. My queen on a5 is definitely not in the game. It looks like someone wants to shoot me with the H pawn. Oh, tactics. Tactics troll tactics. Tactics troll. That's a cool name. That should be your name, actually. The tactical troll. I don't know about this move, but if I can win a pawn, it's good. He wants to play like h4, h5, I assume, you know, with the queen move. Not too bad, these first two games. Chess 960. Pineapple. What? A pineapple. I thought pineapple. I thought ananas was here. Otherwise known as pineapple. Back to chess. You're late, man. You're half an hour late. Long time no see. Back to chess. Thanks for subscribing, man. No luck, only skill. We've got a lot of intuitive players on the stream today. I don't really attract the tactical tipos. Alright, knight c4. Well, we're back to basics. We're back to the center. Queen on a5. Just good control of the board here. Goodbye, Mr. Knight, but he's losing his central pawn. I mean, this is... White is toast here. He was toast pretty much most of the end of the game there. I think the opening was not clear. Looks like it was reasonable. Wow, the computer thinks you have a lot of comp for that pawn. After queen takes a2. What am I supposed to do, though? I mean, I don't have anything better. So there was the suggestion of f5. Only one game where somebody played b6. Damn, is c5 wrong, or like what am I supposed to do? f4 b6 is preferred. Wow. b6 safer than c5. It develops the bishop on a8 and controls the center. I guess that makes sense. Alright guys, we're going to play some subscribers. So we've got Ayesta and an Arsenal fan next. We played our first non-subscriber, Troll. Ayesta, what's up? How are you guys doing? The St. Louis chess thing is going on. The URS rating system. That's like a really dumb name for a rating system. Like nobody will know what it is. URS. Universal rating system of what? Like, it has no, you know. At least like FIDE is like, has chess in the name of it. Technically. Alright, knight f3. What do we want to do here? I played this the other day against, I think, Zen Chess in the tournament on Tuesday. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was, maybe it was someone else, not Zen Chess. Damn it. That's a solid move. There goes my voice. G3. Such a solid move, man. You're just killing my queen immediately with the g3. That was played against me in the other game too, but a little bit later on. I guess we can just transpose, try to transpose to some kind of Scheveningen like I did. It was against, oh god, why can I never remember his name? Unicorns. Unicorns, and I actually transposed to a theoretical Scheveningen line. Queen c7, not really a great square necessarily in this closed type of position. Whereas in the Scheveningen, if white plays d4, I think it makes more sense. I don't know, man. It's just like I have this URS rating that's lower than my FIDE rating. Like, how would they possibly like assign me a rating? I mean, it's totally it's like ridiculous. I mean, if they hold their own tournaments and then make up a rating system, I can understand, but to just assign people ratings, it's like, oh well, we like you, so we'll give you like 2400, but you're not, you know, a friend of Rex Sinkfield, so you'll be like 2310 or something. All right, Queen e2. That's a good move in both, you know, open and closed varieties of positions, I guess. I don't like FIDE, but I don't see how you can just make up a rating system. Queen e2. Good move. Okay, now it's starting to look like one of these, it might even just be a transposition now to a Chigorin variation against the French. It's something I've never played with black really too much. A little bit. I would normally go for a g6 type of setup. What am I going to do here? My queen is a target to things like bishop f4 in the future. I don't know what to do. We'll just play a6 like a hedgehog. Not in love with this setup with queen c7. Ayesta's g3 is very solid. This okay, this variation is pretty like sketchy. I mean, Quinteros or whatever played it. Like, there are problems. I mean, it's basically just a transpositional move, and I use it to kind of mess with people occasionally, but it's not really a great move. It's like baby mosquito. B5, or what should I do here? How about develop the king side? Yeah, the bishop f4 is always coming in. G6. G6, bishop f4, D6. I don't know if there's anything he can really do about G6 right away. G6, knight C3, bishop G7, knight D5, sacking a piece. That would be funny. Alright, you know, let's try it. It looks pretty rope-a-dope for black. There's probably some problems with this. I started to have second thoughts about this. If I didn't play queen c7, it would all be pretty normal. Although there are lines where white goes like bishop g5. Foigle used to play that with the queen on d8, and then like you would play queen c7 for lack of a better square. So it kind of looks like that, actually. Yeah, this is right. Like Tactical Wizard, basically it's a queen e2 French / Sicilian. You know, you can do it interchangeably. In the e6 Sicilians for white, I guess. I was a little concerned about knight d5 sacrifices, but I don't think that that's earth-shaking. I could take it and move my knight and play d6. Bishop f4, well, we have to decide between e5 and d6. I don't see anything wrong with d6 there, so bishop f4 doesn't look right. I was a little concerned he could have played e5 last move. Or the move before that. Like right now, I guess e5. Is it overextending or is it a good move? I'm not sure. I'd love to answer my own questions. a6 coming in handy right about now. You'll occasionally get lines where you can't go d6 because of knight b5. In some places I've seen this this piece configuration I'm playing referred to as Petrosian's formation. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my stream. We're going to be streaming till 12:30, about 2 hours, and then Sunday I have a simul, 30:30 simul. Last night we had a terrible time streaming because there were just too many chess streams going on at the same time. Had to cut it short, my usual subscriber stream. I wonder if I should have the subscriber stream at a different time. I mean, I don't know what's with Thursday night, but for some reason Thursday night is like the night. Rook AD1, what are you doing? No threats, right? Basically no threats. Kind of weird to play rook b8 if there's a bishop on f4. Alright, my king side's a little weakened. Once I lost to a guy named Mauricio Ruiz, who's like a USCF master. Might be a FIDE master, I'm not sure. But Mauricio beat me with like an h4, h5 type of attack once very, very long ago, and I think it was a rapid game. That's a typical stratagem in these King's Indian attack type positions. But it looks like Ayesta is kind of messing this up. Without a plan, I mean, rook d1 didn't make a tremendous amount of sense. And now he's finally finding his feet, going queen d2, and it's getting to be a more standard sort of setup. If bishop h6, you know, bishop h6, I mean, I'm gonna live with it. That's what Dvoretsky said anyway. You let them play bishop h6, then you play e5. Speaking of Dvoretsky, we did talk about closed Sicilian English type of positions. I wonder what I should do with that knight on f3 though. Should I? It's kind of weird. Should I Play e5 right away? Well, now he's threatening knight takes d4 anyway. Bring the other knight to c6. Knight e1 will come, and then my knights will be like in a traffic jam. I don't know what to do. Thursday night is usually chess club night for Arsenal fan. What about KC? KC was there. There was the computer thing, the St. Louis thing, 2 girl streamers. There was another guy streaming. Man, it's like everybody and your brother is a chess streamer. Tough business. It's a good thing this isn't what I do, you know, to make a living. I mean, I like streaming, but I couldn't really live from it. All right, King G7. We've got the dark squares controlled. This is basically the strategy. Once they trade this bishop on H6, we want to put everything on dark. Mostly the central pawns, maybe F6, ultimately. It's about equal. Even after this hesitant rook d1 and like his knight being on a bad square, white is still not really worse per se. Fancy moves here like bishop h3. Hard to find tactics troll. I still like the name tactics troll. I'm basically like in a holding pattern here. Just a solid move, as I was talking about controlling the dark squares. Yep. Maybe we can massage his queen side a little bit. We've got the slightly better bishop, and other than that, the game is like pretty equal. That's good to see. We want him to put pawns on the wrong color. I do have d5. Getting aggressive in the center. A principled move. Principle. Paying the principle and not the interest. The 6+3 is pretty fast. I'm used to playing the 8+3. We did away with that. Just arbitrarily choosing moves here. No, this was the plan. I mean, I'm just kidding. It was the majority that I'm playing for on the queen side. Waste of tempo. What am I supposed to do? Why didn't I play that before? Oh my god, what kind of move is that? What kind of move was that? Wow. That's insane. Queen b6. What am I thinking? And he just totally abandoned the file too. I just left my knight on e7 just en prise. Really badly there. But I don't know that he had an immediate tactic. But it was a pretty bad oversight. Speaking of the E7 square, man, look at that X-ray against F6. Wow, he's just scaring me. I'm dropping all my pawns now. Good. That's perfect. Seriously? You put your queen on freeze to take my bishop on A2? Oh man, that's bad. That was sneaky, dude. That was like a bullet game. Ayesta, have you been playing a lot of bullet? It was like a bullet trick. Put your queen on F7 and take my bishop on A2. I never would have imagined. I can't believe you had the audacity to think you could put your queen on F7. He could just take the pawn on A5 with like an equal game. But he puts his queen on F7. I'm like panicking. What do I do? He's attacking me. You know? Alright, man. Pretty crappy finish for both of us. It was really, really bad. I'm like winning. And then he played this excellent move, Queen B1, in time pressure, and I just fell apart here. Okay, so we've got Arsenal fan Richie, King Chaser, and Mule Skinner. Tactical Wizard. It's the oldest blitz trick in the book. You put your rook next to the other guy's rook, like in live over the board blitz when you both have like seconds left, and they start to like move automatically. Even I did it once in a blitz tournament to win a very important game. You got to be like Dlugi, you know, and put the rook on a kind of dodgy position where it's like halfway near the edge of the square, you know, so it's hard to tell like which square it's on. That's what like the true blitz hustlers do. It's not enough to just like put the rook next to their rook. It has to be like right kind of almost between two squares, so you can't tell exactly where it is. Alright, Arsenal fan playing, what is this? G6, C6, and D5. It's the Schlechter Slav, but it's not really the Schlechter Slav because my bishop can come outside the pawn chain. So it's like a good Schlechter Slav. I usually cop out and just play C takes D in these positions. I don't know if there's better than this. This is a good exchange Slav for white. Once I did this, I did that blitz trick to this guy. What was his name? I can't remember. He was a friend of Brian Smith's. He was this like Russian-born master from University of Baltimore, Maryland. Yevgeny Gershov or something. And he was just like in insta mode. He was just moving like bang, 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 like automatically moving this pawn down the board. And so I was like, okay, if you're not even going to like pay attention to what move I'm going to make, I just put my rook like in a hopelessly lost position, just like next to his rook, but like kind of on a kind of corner of the square. And he just didn't pay attention. He just kept moving his pawn. I just snapped his rook off. Then he started to like freak out, you know. But I mean, that's that's the way it goes, man. You know, if you're gonna like play and not even like look at what your opponent is moving, I mean, at that point, I think it it becomes a legitimate trick. They knock over the piece. That's like, yeah. The one game when I should have beat Hikaru in a blitz game, he was knocking over all the pieces in the time scramble, which is, you know, pretty typical of players who can't handle losing. I like players, you know, who have a real sense of sportsmanship, you know. I would never knock over the pieces to prevent myself from like losing on time. I mean, sometimes it really happens, but not like repeatedly, you know. And you should take the time to pick the pieces back up. I'll never say I beat Hikaru. I lost on time with like queen and king against king. Well, I didn't lose because he had no material left, but still. Arsenal fan Richie, what's going on here, man? When did you start playing this opening? I don't remember you playing like this. Is this a new thing? Rook c1. I just want to take with the rook on c3. Yeah, I mean, I think you just need to win on the board. It's my same philosophy with not, you know, playing for time so much, but focusing on playing the best moves. The position you should be able to win. A strong player should be able to win without like knocking over the pieces and doing unsportsmanlike crap like kicking people's feet under the table. A6. Queen b3. Queen b3 puts pressure on the d5 pawn. And then on, yeah, I think this is probably a good move. Sometimes you have to watch out for knight a5. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Wow. Yeah, so Arsenal, like trolling a roll, is not, you know, he's not relying enough on tactics. He's a good player. He has an excellent sense of strategy and where the pieces go and positionally, but he's not looking for tactics enough. He's not incorporating enough tactics into his game. Here, for example, a situation where you can incorporate strategy and tactics. If he plays knight a5 in this position, okay, he's probably rejecting it because, okay, my pawn's hanging, that's it, you know. But you can play knight a5, queen takes d5, knight takes c3, intermezzo, and then queen takes d8, knight takes e2, check. So this is the kind of situation where the players who don't calculate enough are shortchanging themselves, basically. Knight a5 was a really strong move that would have cast doubt on my position. Cast doubt on that. Cast doubt on Doust's position. Knight takes e4. Always look for that knight a5 and that Slav. In the exchange Slav. Now we're going to have to play some kind of very tedious positional game. I hope this is adequate for white. Do I take Bitcoin cash donations? I do not at the moment, but it can be arranged. It's a good idea. I know the price of Bitcoin is going up. Damn, it's like through the roof now. People are predicting it's gonna like go crazy. Be worth like $10,000 a Bitcoin. Bishop takes e5 is safer, but pawn takes is clamping down more on the position. I wonder. It's interesting, this question here. Should I take with the pawn? Just keep him like totally bottled up. He has like g5 and what? No problem. Bishop takes, he can do f6. I'm still better either way, I guess. But he can take, okay, pawn takes, queen g5. Yeah, so it seems like pawn takes is actually better. Unless he has that again. My favorite square, queen a5 again. Like knight a5 was the other move that messed with me. The narc is here. Who's the narc, Bob? D takes e5, queen a5, just threatening to snap the pawn. It's remarkably hard to defend that pawn. I have to play queen c3. Then my a pawn is hanging. We would have massive compensation, wouldn't we? Alright. I feel like this is keeping him more tied up. It's not good for my bishop on f4, but, you know, his bishop isn't doing much either. The e4 pawn becomes a target. That's accessible now because of this lateral threat. His bishop could go back to f8 and maybe activate from there, but, you know, leaving my bishop sort of bad. But I think this was the right decision. Now he has to think about like queen a5. He played b5, looking for a square for his bishop, I guess. And also he's going to defend, logical, he's going to defend e4. So he's not really thinking counterattack. He's just thinking like, how can I defend everything? Which is probably a good way to think here. We're better, but it looks kind of tough to break it down. I can't see how to break through. a4. That's an idea. Right, so rook d1 followed by a4. Rook d1 actually practically forces him to play queen c3. Yeah, this is it, man. This has got to be... Gotta be a good try. But I'm not sure it's enough, but we're better. The other option was to play a4, but I thought he had time. Why didn't I like a4? I don't know. Queen e7 instantaneously. Not even considering queen a5. We don't have much in the way of targets here. And this is annoying. He's just going to play bishop b7. He is fast. Too fast. Too fast for your own good. Penguins crusher. Magnus is a myth. It's possible. It's all fake. Who knows? How can we possibly know the truth? I guess I could have won a pawn there with rook d4 straight away. Now rook c4, rook d5. We're just getting pretty active. I didn't think about this move, but it feels too passive for black. And this is really irritating. All right. Bishop d5, bishop c4, bishop takes, queen takes, or just rook takes. He's still hanging on. Just there, you can just do that. God, dude, you're driving me nuts. There's just no way to make progress at all. He's a genius. Damn. Just nothing for white now. Got 2 minutes more than me. I'm not better. So sad. How the heck could I not get an advantage in this game? His opening was totally dubious. Rook takes, rook takes. We still have some kind of nagging chance here. Again, I have 7 seconds against 1 minute 30. Yeah, that's good. I can't play king h2 because of bishop c6. I don't even know which way to take. We're just losing. This bishop on f4 ended up being our demise. Oh no. He didn't even pay attention. He's like that guy. Oh my god, I didn't pay attention. Just eating my b pawn. Alright, man, good game. That's a pretty impressive game by black. I was lost at the end. Nothing I could do. Just totally lost here. My whole queen side just fell apart. Man, that was an excellent game by black. I didn't like the opening, but after that you never gave me anything. This was a mistake by black to allow me to take on a6, which wasn't necessary. You should have played bishop a3 before. I thought just here, you're just winning. Again, like, he won without even any tactics. Not calculating bishop a3. This is absolutely best. Rich just is, like most of us, a little bit lazy. He doesn't want to calculate, so he plays bishop b4. This move probably wins on the spot. If you play bishop a3, I have no defense. You should be looking for that. I was trying to play bishop takes a6, you know, but I never have it. Your king just goes up to g7. You know what I failed to understand was that, you know, whenever I did this bishop on a6, he's going to have rook back to a8. But just too much time pressure. At one point I was better. I should have played rook d6, but I didn't see what it does. But I guess it just keeps pressure on the a6 pawn. What did I play here instead? Rook d4. This is an excellent move. Bishop f8. Forced, basically. And then surprisingly here I don't have like any advantage. You know, so I wonder if we go back to d takes e in this position, if it was the right move. You know, like the computer wants to play bishop takes e5, and see that evaluation drop on the d takes e5? But I don't have much here, even in this, like bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, d takes e5. I thought this pawn on e5 is hard to keep protected. Objectively, I don't have enough advantage. Alright, man, good game. Knight to d5, lousy dirty cheater, Armageddon. You guys can play after the subscribers if you're still here and you don't give up on it. Alright, lost to Arsenal fan. Been a long time since you beat me, man. Good job. Man, not a good game for me though. I had a decent position, but it's that stupid exchange variation. I don't think that I get enough there for white. I should probably not play c takes d. It's not the first time I've felt like that. That variation just simplifies too much for white. I'm playing King Chaser. I was supposed to play one of the subscribers. How did King Chaser get the game? Damn, King Chaser. You never subscribe. You're always last, and I took his challenge first. I'm sorry, guys. It was an accident. He's not a subscriber. He wasn't even, like, first in the list. I just, like, chose him by accident. Alright. Well, now I can't give up on the game. Who said anything about work? Catalan, Reti. C6 is pretty passive here. He'll eventually have to play c5 or e5, one way or the other. Usually b6, bishop b7, maybe bishop a6 sometimes. But with white, I can obviously play d4. The other way I often play is just the Reti type of setup with d3, knight b2. I used to play that when I was coming up as an expert, a USCF expert. I like to play the Reti with white, the Reti, Ricard Reti, Ricard. Oh man, we left all our subscribers behind. Took King Chaser's challenge. He's usually the last challenge. I've got to play Mule Skinner. I guess I just thought King Chaser was a subscriber for some reason. I'm playing him so much, it seems like it. What are we doing here? We got nothing. This is like an equal position, I think. Black can just play c5. I don't know, rook e1. What else should I play here except for rook e1? I don't know. He's just playing c5 with equality, I think. On pretty much any move I make. Maybe I should omit this. Just forget about not playing. Not playing d4 anymore. Knight e4 is more cagey. It looks kind of dubious for black. I just take and play knight d2, and then f5, f3. Is that okay for black? That seems weird. I mean, I think he just has instant equality with c5 instead of knight e4. I mean, why should white have an advantage here? I don't see any tangible advantage after c5. Now there's e3, but that's kind of slow. So we should play f3 followed by what? Pawn takes pawn, or... Yeah, this seems right. I don't think that he would have had any disadvantage at all with a simple c5. f5 is really weird. Thanks guys for tuning in and watching on your Fridays. Man, back to basics. Back to chess. What time is it there? In the USA, you guys are 6 hours. It's really, really early depending on where you are. Really late or really early. f3. Well, there's takes and there's e3, but both of them look kind of dubious for black. The point is to take with the pawn, right? And then I'm just winning? Does that seem right? Damn, dude. Do not try this at home. It's like the Stonewall Dutch. I remember once I did 94 in a Catalan, a closed Catalan myself with black. But it can be okay in some positions. Very early you can transpose to the Stonewall even. He can protect, I guess, e6 with with the move rook f6. I mean, what else? It's really ugly for black. King f7. So he has some tricks. Rook takes e6, pawn takes pawn, and then bishop takes d4, knight c5. Bishop takes c5, bishop takes c5, check, king h1. Black has really, really good bishops there. So that hardly seems like a good option for white. Luckily we have other options. I want to just stop looking at the clock altogether. Makes me nervous. That'd be cool if you could turn off the clock. Just cover it up with a paper. Like blindfold chess. Clock blindfold. See like how often you can win without losing on time. If you didn't know how much time you have. Because I feel like knowing my time makes me panic and make bad moves pretty often. Especially when I'm down to like 10 seconds. Ben Feingold is the best GM ever. Is Ben Feingold a GM? Wow. I remember Ben being an IM. He was always an IM forever. He's like the oldest player ever to become a GM. Queen e2. This is strong. I had no interest in rook takes e6. Rook takes e6, CD with good play for black. Okay, now he's defending his e7 bishop, basically taking this push trick away from me. Black is just massively backward in the center. What's our next plan? It's a bit weird, isn't it? That's an ingenious move, rook f7. I mean, seriously, dude. d5. What would Aronian do? God, man, this is not so easy. f4. This is really awkward. Soltigo can't eat hot dogs. Damn, dude, that's pretty sad for Simon Williams to show up to his match with Feingold drunk. That's so sad, dude. Very professional. All part of the image that Simon likes to project. Bishop takes d4. We've got good play backwardness along these files here, but I've been unable to find a way to get my knight into the game. It's always got no path, and I'm thinking about knight b1 and knight f1 seriously for that guy. Material is not my forte. Not my favorite advantage. Positional advantages. Man, black has amazing counter chances here. It's sort of insane. Bishop c5, it's absolutely brilliant. Why can't I get anything going here? Take there. Just a very, very small endgame advantage for white at the most. This is weird. Knight f1. It's almost better to put the knight on b1. At least my knight has a future there. Amazing defense by King Chaser. Where did my advantage go? What did I do wrong here? My position just gets worse and worse. He's got all of his pieces mobilized perfectly. It's just like magic. Black came out of this totally passive position with complete equality. Pure magic. Do I have anything here? This seems like a weird move on the surface, but I'm hoping to push my queenside majority with b4. Slightly better king, a more active queenside, pawn majority. We don't have much here. It's basically equal. This is remarkable defense. Also, King Chaser's time usage. He found those defensive moves really quickly. Rook f7 was like astounding. I don't like King g6 though, and I don't understand it. There was a game not long ago where he played pretty badly in an endgame. You know, maybe that's his weakest phase. Everybody has a weak point. He's certainly fast. I wanted to transfer this guy over here to b3 to support the queenside. I couldn't play c5 earlier because of certain problems. But now we can get ready to play it soon. There's still no progress, huh? Rook d4. Actually, that's where I wanted to put my king. Guys, I'm going to play remaining subscribers who haven't played yet. Mule Skinner and Melody Marathon. Whoa. Damn it, dude. I don't know, why did I even bother to play Rook d4? It seems sort of stupid now. I had an idea with that. Making no progress. My rook is not exactly optimal there. g4. That's kind of insane. Now he can go with this king to e5. Kind of lucky he didn't play that. Man, this is super awkward. kidding me. Why didn't I see king f6? He lost on time here. I'm only a very slight bit better. Huh. Yeah, I was lucky there, though. He was totally equal a little while ago. Like here, I moved 45. It's totally equal. Alright, man. That's an amazing game. I thought you were just dead in the opening. After f5. Check this out. f3. He can play e3. Oh, because of knight f1, bishop b4. So we both missed this. I would have to sack the exchange there with bishop b4, knight takes e3. Maybe that's interesting. Bishop takes e1, queen takes e1. With two powerful bishops for white. I think this is a reasonable exchange sacrifice. I've got a lot of potential with the dark squared bishop, but I'm not better. You're up the exchange for a pawn there. After e takes f3, I thought you defended amazingly. c5, that's best move. Now f4. The engine says black's better here. I mean, this is crazy. Like the e6 just hanging with check. Black's better. Rook f7 I thought was ingenious, but the computer thinks you just give it to me because you'll play rook f7 anyway. Just play this anyway. That's amazing. Wow. What a misleading position. It just looks like white's clearly better, but I'm actually not. Mule Skinner. Alright, I'm going to play e4. I haven't played a lot of e4 in the last couple days. French defense. Okay, we've been struggling with the Tarrasch, but I think I need to work on it. The Tarrasch. I was never a follower of Tarrasch. But his openings are okay. I actually like playing against the Tarrasch defense and the Queen's Gambit. Now I know there's this move knight f4. That's some people I've worked with have played that move. Guess this is all standard main line. I assume castles. John Watson recommends queen takes f6 in his book Play the French, which was like a seminal work. I know that this move is less common than knight takes f6, but like for example, Yevgeny Bareyev used to play queen f6. I don't know what the current state is. I mean, I guess that knight f6 is still the main line. Mule Skinner, are you a subscriber in the stream? He was a subscriber, right? We lost some subscribers lately. Alright, queen c7. What am I supposed to do here? Like, just allow this pressure on this diagonal. He's stopping me from playing bishop f4, basically. Bishop g5, castles. Bishop h4. Feels like the right idea to me. I don't know. That also gives me rook c1, sometimes playing against his queen. But I have no idea if this is still the main line. I guess you could also try something like queen b1 there. You know, but that seems artificial. Judging by the speed of his moves, one would assume that, like, I'm playing a main line. Now maybe queen b1, or even queen c2. I don't know, this just feels safer somehow. Black's really active here. I don't think I like this variation anymore. I don't think I would choose to play this position again. I don't think I would voluntarily play this line anymore. I don't like this. It's too passive for white. Maybe, I mean, if I have to do it over again, you know, we'll find another line, but it feels really, like, lame. There's no attacking chances. The pawn structure is, you know, what good is having the guy have a backward pawn if I have no way to attack it? I mean, this looks totally lame for white. There's no plan. Back to chess is suggesting rook takes f3, but I don't understand rook takes f3 here. I mean, it is a standard idea, but you really need to, like, get the d4 pawn or something, you know, for that. I don't think you could just do it, you know. Maybe you can. Back to chess, so rook takes f3 just as a pure positional sack, maybe queen f7. If you can get a second pawn for it. But how do you do that, you know? You can't play queen f7 because you have to make this exchange at some point because your bishop's hanging on d6. I don't know, the rook takes f3, I doubt it's correct. Now here, yeah, it's interesting to consider maybe f takes, but then queen b6 and this weakness is really serious. What would Karpov do? Knight takes. H takes. H takes followed by queen d2. The most solid approach. Definitely something to be said for knight takes. I think that f takes is bad. This is not fun. This is not a fun position for white. I'm not having fun. It's passive. Queen b6 there, for example. I have 0 threats or activity. Okay, I can attack h7. That's a good one move threat. Basically feel like I'm playing for a draw or something with white. I feel completely out of my element here. Yeah, Karpov would just maintain an equal position for like 30 moves until his opponent blundered in the ending. Exactly. That's pretty much what we're doing. We just kind of squeeze black here. Black, did I just miss a crushing move? Knight g5 with double attack on h7 and e6. Come on now. Now I realize I had that move? Man, no wonder he's like hesitating. He's like, oh my god, I allowed knight g5 and Sludgy didn't play it. Oh my god. Whoa, stay on page. Man, that's embarrassing. I mean, that move is like deadly. He's got nothing there after knight g5. Queen c2 is so lame. It just gives him time to protect. h6. h6 is okay for black. I mean, what's the problem? Nothing to think about. Man, that's so lame. I had knight g5. Not exciting chess for white. I guess if you want exciting, you have to play knight c3. I was even thinking of exchanging the white squared bishops here. But I mean, that goes against conventional logic. The problem is, this is a very real threat, I think, to play bishop h5, which is extremely difficult for white to deal with. Alright, check. And now we could play knight h4. You could even, yeah, knight h4, g5, knight g6 check. Knight h4. Bishop g6 again is also okay for white. I'm running out of time. Owlette just said the problem is knight h4 after bishop h7 check. Well, I'm not sure how big a problem it really is, you know. See, that's the problem with knight h4. I'm not really threatening anything. He'll just take my knight when it goes to g6. So what am I actually doing here at the end of the day? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, now I remember. I think the rook c1 keeps him from playing things like knight e7, which is good. And we're still thinking about bishop g6, I think. The problem is he can play bishop h5 anyway. Then g4. Man, that's straight out of some weird Karpov game. G4 would really weaken my king side. So I guess bishop g6 now. But now he can move the knight or whatever. I don't know what else to do. Skinner getting in time pressure. Black's got a lot of defenses here. He should be fine. I'm actually like out on a tangent, it feels like. I missed my easy win and now I've got nothing. Yeah, g5 just allowed. Well, actually, why is g5 suicidal? It's not suicidal. It's actually not suicidal. Knight g6 check. Bishop takes g6, bishop takes g6. It might not be that bad. It's not. It's not. This was an insane blunder. Skinner, don't look at the clock. No, he's just lost, man. That's so silly and unnecessary for black to lose this game. He had such a good position. Okay, it's still amazingly difficult to make progress. This is seriously not easy to make progress here. We'll win it, I guess, somehow, but he has a good bishop, limited weaknesses that are hard to attack, hard to get to the open file. But I don't think so, Rich. I mean, actually, g5 would have forced me to play knight g6 check, and then after bishop takes g6, bishop takes g6. I don't think the weakness of g5 matters that much. He could have played that. I mean, I don't know who's better there, but at first I thought it was suicidal too, but now that I think about it, maybe I should have played bishop g6 right away, not allowing any of that stuff, which was my original plan. I feel like I have to take this, but I don't really like it. I'm only winning this game because of time. Didn't like my game. I want to check this opening when we're done. I don't think he was ever winning or anything, but I thought that he was totally out of the opening with a decent position. Yes, he found it, the only move. What am I supposed to do now? You know, we're up the exchange for nothing. We should have an easy win. It's not that easy to win. It's really irritating. Eventually, but this takes time. I should be able to use my king sides sort of aggressively at some point. That's what I mean by using my king side aggressively. Now I really regret it. Damn. That move. Oh my god, dude. It's like a total nightmare. I think I might have to put my king on f1 or something. What am I going to do? This is horrifying. If I put my king on the other square, I'll just get crushed. Damn, man. I am having a really bad day here. Am I missing this? Holy crap. It's staring me right in the face and I couldn't see rook e6. He didn't want to sack his queen, understandably. Well, that was lucky that I had that. I think Mule Skinner's rating has gone up. dude. You just don't leave me alone. It's really making life difficult for me. It's like 100 moves yet? Damn. This is like being a dentist. Pulling teeth. Oh my god, dude, what a game. I would be surprised if I wasn't in trouble at some point here. I don't want to play this variation anymore. This sucks. Main line, main line, main line, main line. And here I played bishop g3, which apparently is only the second main line. If you play queen c2, you have a microscopic advantage. Only queen c2, h6. Wow. Knight takes g3, h takes g3. He played bishop d7. Oddly, only one game with this move, bishop d7, which seems fine. I don't see any problem with bishop d7. But everybody plays g6 for some reason. Doesn't seem necessary. Rook f6 is the recommended move from Stockfish. Bishop d7 is second best. I like bishop d7. So now I played rook c1. We're following Mamedov game from 2010. How many Mamedov? Is that the same Mamedov? No, there's two Mamedovs, Akor. I'm speaking Hungarian. There's Rauf Mamedov, and this is a different Mamedov. Also rated 2600. Dibyendu Barua, one of the first Indian grandmasters. Maybe the first, actually. He might have been the first Indian GM before Anand, well before Anand. Bishop e8 is just like a terrible mistake. I have knight g5. Damn. So you have to play rook f6. Ganguly played black against Barrow in 2006. He beat him, of course, because he's stronger, but damn, we've got nothing there. Alright, good game, man. You know you're opening. Melody Marathon. Rauf Mamedov. I think they might be related, I'm not sure. I get confused with all these guys. I only remember the name Rauf, though. And he didn't just appear. He's been around for years. Alright, Melody Marathon, another strong player. Alright, guys. We're going to play on Sunday. Simul here on lichess. 30-30 with 20 players. Rauf Mamedov, he just reached 2700. If that's a super GM, I don't know, Richie. It seems like 2700s are like a dime a dozen now. I'm not sure if 2700 qualifies you for super GM status. I think you have to be like 2750. In the old days, 2700 would have been like top 5 in the world. It's probably like higher than like Spassky's highest ever rating or something. But there's no rating inflation. Alright, man, fun. The Budapest Gambit. Let's go. Who's after this game? We've got another 40 minutes left. Who's after this game? Knight to d5, lousy, dirty cheater, and Arthur. Jabava and maybe not Jabava. Mamedyarov plays g5. It's pretty dubious positionally, but it's really black's only. Speaking of Simon Williams, I think that Simon actually played knight c6, knight f3, d6 against me. How does this go? Yeah, I think that years ago we had a blitz game in Hastings with Simon when he was like, I don't know, a teenager. And I think I was white and it was like knight c6, knight f3, f6, pawn takes pawn, queen takes f6, e3, queen takes b2, knight d2. In that line, I just found out the other day that after knight c6, knight f3, f6, pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, white can even play. No, that's wrong. Something's wrong with this picture that I'm saying. Huh. My knight's not supposed to be on f3, but how is that possible? I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Simon and I had a game in that, in Blitz. Just a regular Blitz game. I don't know that I trust this for black, but Mamedyarov can win with anything. It really doesn't. It doesn't mean it's a good opening because Mamedyarov played it. You know, he basically plays a lot of kind of trashy lines to confuse people. He played g5 the other day. Have you guys seen this? This Steinitz where he beat Grishuk in the European Team Championship. Actually, Grishuk looked very indecisive. Problem I find with Anand these days, he's older than me. That's his problem. I don't know. I'm not an Anand fan. He's a great player, obviously, but never. I don't know. Just never personally was a big fan of his. Bishop g7. Knight c3 or h4. I guess that's the key question. When do we play h4? We don't need to play it right away, right? We need to develop our pieces, so probably we can hold off on the h4. I'm not trying to keep the pawn, but I can't remember exactly what the theory is. I mean, it seems like I have to play knight c3 at some point to defend against the threat of bishop takes b2. And in this case, I've never had the need to play h4. Usually white plays h4 at some point, but you know, why would I just voluntarily play h4 here? It doesn't even seem particularly relevant. Reminds me a little of like a King's Indian. We can play either e3 or e4. We can put our king on the queen side or on the king side. Maybe just e3, then f5, f4. We're always going to have to be watching out for that. There's an argument for e4 and an argument for e3. You'll be sad when Naka retires. I don't really think about it on a day-to-day basis. Okay, well, this looks right. We could play h4 at some point. It has its advantages. Maybe now is as good a time as any. If we can disrupt his king side a little bit, you know, so he doesn't have that kind of f5, f4. If he has to play g4, he'll never have this nasty f5, f4 stuff, crushing my bishop on g3. This is almost like a defensive, it's almost like a defensive move, h4. Just making sure I don't get, you know, overrun. It's a defensive, offensive move. It's obviously dynamic for white. I'm going to try to keep my options open as far as castling king side or queen side. But I think we should take the opportunity to play h4. Most likely I'll continue with h5 because I don't want him to settle in there and play h5. And I'll be threatening h6, which is extremely disruptive. It could potentially give us stuff like bishop h4 later on. I actually play this kind of structure in this sort of Smyslav Kings Indians quite a bit. So I think that I have an advantage over most players, being kind of comfortable with the structure. With that bishop on g3, it looks just like a sort of Smyslav Kings Indian. It's really identical to a Smyslav Kings Indian where he took back with a piece on e5. And not castling is something I do play in that variation. A trombone. What is the alarm sound? Sub 2750. Putting pressure on the c4 nugget. He's threatening knight takes c4, sort of. We've got h6 and it's pretty disruptive. I think I'm going to go for it. We want to cause some chaos in black's position. I could just play like knight to d5. Knight e4, bishop e7 is actually kind of weird. I don't think I like that. Some of you might be saying, when are you going to develop the rest of your pieces? It's alright, I think. Part with the bishop. We want him to part with one of his bishops and play the endgame with that advanced h-pawn, maybe promote it, shepherded by bishops. The h7 pawn can be a weakness. Alright guys, it's 12 o'clock. Friday church bells are ringing here in Budapest. I know we have just 30 minutes left in the stream. Sunday simul. Guys, I think Monday I'm not going to be streaming. I have some work I have to do. So Sunday will be the next stream, and then we'll probably have a viewer tournament on Tuesday, taking Monday off. But anyway, I'll let you know on Sunday. Instead of feeding your cat. Poor cat, man. I mean, pawn takes... I guess pawn takes should be considered here. because of bishop b5 check and other good things. Eaters of souls. Every time I say this, I think of Dmitri Reinderman, collector of souls and other good things. I think both captures are okay for white. I was going to take with the queen, then I changed my mind. Just so many white squares are weak. This gives him less counterplay, I thought. I could be wrong. We also play along the C file, Salo floor style. I guess my plan is to just pick off that h7 pawn, ultimately. Salo floor versus Botvinnik. Troll in a roll just plays me, then leaves the stream. I'm not going to play him anymore, unless he subscribes. Somebody's thinking about castling queenside, perhaps. Okay, the bishop check. And everything's good here. Queen check. I'm like talking about the h7 pawn, but uh-oh. Okay, b2's hanging. But hopefully that's not the main priority. g4's hanging. I just realized. Damn. It's basically, I guess, forced, right? To regroup now. Why would I do that? Right. I might be able to play queen a5 at some point. That h7 pawn. I can't allow knight c5, duh. Now where? Queen b5, queen d3. Queen b3. Oh no. All right, the g2 pawn is gonna fall. Nothing I can do about it. And this sucks. I screwed my position up. Wow, now he's better. His king's still on d8 though. Black's still completely passive. kind of gambling here. But I feel like I have good compensation. Whoa. It's got an answer for everything. Damn, dude. This king is trapped in the center. I don't think he can stop that pawn. Alright, man, tough game. I let it completely get out of control. Guys, we have time for at least one more game. Let's check the opening theory here. So this is main line, apparently. I guess I knew that. H4, G4, H5. This is like the main line. It's not very pleasant for black. Wow, we're still in some kind of quote-unquote book, but it looks bad for black. Wow, I'm finding the right moves. So it's Moiseenko or Jovanic, and both are GMs. One of them played CD and one of them played queen takes. Both are good. Wow, C takes. Moiseenko style. It's an unpleasant line for black. Queen d7 may be better. I don't know. Alright, we almost let him off the hook in that game. We're going to play knight to d5. We'll see if we can get another game or not. Mamedyarov would play almost anything, I guess. So, yeah, there are safer ways to play the Budapest. They're just not as fun for black, I guess. Feels like I've been white almost every game today. We gave it a good try messing that up, but I couldn't quite do it. So Queen e4 was a mistake. I mean, I think we both thought that it was a mistake for me to allow it, you know? That's weird. It's a blitz game. Uh-oh. The Moscow variation. I'm getting a headache. I think I need a... Oh, you took with a knight. Okay, well that transposes some kind of browser type of thing, usually when they do bishop g5 later. So typically I'll take with the bishop if I feel like playing safe, but since it's like a clean tempo, for me I'm going to take with the pawn here. Knight takes c6 is almost always a not very good move for white. The structure is The structure is a little dodgy for me though, because he's always got this push on e5 sometimes. So I have to really hold that up if possible. This is probably wrong. You should play like something to support e5. Rook e1 maybe. Now I always have knight g4. And you're not supporting the e5 advance, which I think is, that's the critical. Maybe f3 even now, or h3. It's still perfectly like about equal for white. I don't think he has an advantage, but it's probably equal. Knight g4. I do find it difficult to come up with plans in this kind of position, even though it's not recommended for white to play like this. It's actually kind of solid and difficult for black to come up, really formulate like a good plan. I don't have any pawn breaks. The white doesn't really have an attack or anything either, so it's a sort of situation of stasis where it's hard for both sides to do anything, in my experience. Queen b8 is interesting. This is a ghost piece. What I've termed a ghost piece. Screw it. Zelda hat. The Legend of Zelda. You want me to be dressed as the Legend of Zelda? God, that's scary, dude. Playing too much Nintendo. Alright. That was a great game. My friend's little brother had that game on the original Nintendo system. Well, we're going to lock it down with e5. When structurally black is a little bit better here. Knight to d5 is 1500, man. That is... You are playing solid style 1500. But taking on e6 I don't really like. I think you should keep the tension. You need to play like bishop b3 here. Another option you could consider would be to try to take on e6 and then give me the Irish pawns with e5. I'm not sure I would even take it, honestly. Bishop takes e6, f takes e6, e5. I might just play like knight to d5 or something like that. Probably, with an equal game. But now knight to d5 blundered, retreating his knight away from c3. I don't know why you wanted to retreat your knight away from c3, actually. I mean, I could see wanting to play c4, maybe? But even then, you'd have to be careful about me, like, bouncing a knight around and into d4 where it has a permanent outpost. If you play c4, there's no pawn that will ever control d4. That's a very important pawn to lose. Guys, I'm going to try to play one more game after this. Feingold should make one of his never trade on e6, one of his new rules. I never really watched Feingold. Alright. Knight f6. We're going home. I like the ability to go to d5 if need be. And we're just up a clear pawn. Never trade on e6. It's good advice. So there's nothing really immediately winning here. Close, but no cigar. Or is it? Yeah, knight g4, queen f3, and he's okay. Ow, my elbow just hit my funny bone. Okay, f4 is a feisty move. Good try, man. Very good try. What should I do? Like queen a5? Just randomly throw a piece out there actively? Is white threatening f5? Do I care? Alright. God, I hope I didn't miscalculate something here. This is a pretty provocative move. I probably did miscalculate something. I don't really want to take back on e5 with the queen and allow my pawn structure to be bashed. I'll lose most of my advantage. Double pawns were not part of the plan here, and I think I screwed up. Damn. I screwed this up. Missed something rather important, but maybe it's not fatal. All right, let's see. There. I think I'm okay. Luckily, we're still okay. Barely works, but it's okay. Maybe he has something. Let's see. Queen c3, queen takes e5. Queen g5, that's what I thought I missed, but I have moves there. Queen c5 check. King h1 with the exchange of rooks, I guess. Without the exchange of rooks, knight f2 check. Rook takes f2, queen takes f2, queen takes e7, check, rook f7, resigns. That's the lucky variation that I didn't really calculate in advance. If he doesn't have queen g5, then he basically doesn't have anything. If we exchange rook first, maybe it wouldn't work, but I'm not going to do that. His knight will be hanging at the end of everything on e2, you know, so he can't take on e7. That's a problem. I guess he might have some try here, you know, but he's down the exchange for basically nothing. Knight g3, right? I guess queen f7. Queen f7 seems okay. He's got some sort of pseudo compensation, but I'm just up in exchange. He's got back rank problems. My king is safe enough. It should be winning. I thought maybe I'd have time for one more game. Something fast. But looks like we have no more challenges. Can wrap it up early today. Go home. Do some chess lessons. Yeah, this doesn't really do anything. Now he has to, like, just shamefully retreat. Oh no. I wanted to play like queen takes a2. What am I thinking? He found the defense here. It is kind of irritating that I can't get him off my back. Gotta protect e7. Now we have it. Oh, no we don't. Now you have it, now you don't. Now I just trade queens. And it's bedtime for Bonzo. As Larry Christensen might say. This is a pretty trivial ending. Time to go home. Yeah, this will be the last game. I'm getting a headache. I'm going to end the stream. Get some food, get some lunch, and I'll be back on Sunday with... well, maybe I should just hit that pawn a second time, huh? Yeah. Logical, huh? Buying himself some time for counterplay. I'm afraid I might be trading too many pawns. Maybe I can play a5, a4, a3. Not really the best idea. I really shouldn't have traded pawns. It definitely increases his chances to draw. But there is a serious mistake. I mean, you should probably play rook c1. I guess I'm having trouble defending the pawn. In that line now, you're forced to trade. Well, that's not good. He's got to play rook takes. With a technical ending, that's probably winning for me. Now it's over. All right, guys. Congratulations to Arsenal fan with a win today. And did we lost another game, didn't I? Who else did I lose to? I lost, let's see. Arsenal fan and Ayesta. I forgot about that. Okay, it was that stupid blitz position where I hung my queen. But anyway, good job, guys. Both of you, played tough. Everybody played tough today. I'll be back on Sunday with a simul stream at 6:30 p.m. CET. 30:30 time control simul on Sunday for 20 players. And thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'd like to let you know about my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I do upload the streams there. Most of the regulars, you guys know about that. Also, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Please do so. Please resubscribe if you have let your subscription lapse. And Also, thanks for supporting me via PayPal, both through YouTube and through Twitch. I appreciate it, guys. We'll be back on Sunday, and then like Monday we'll be off, and Tuesday I'll be back streaming with our viewer tournament, probably like 5-2 blitz on Tuesday night on lichess. All right, guys. Thanks, Soltigo, for being our moderator, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Okay, guys. Later. Bye.